Yeah, I sometimes do it in my sleep. So, welcome everyone. And I would just like to thank everyone for taking out the time on a Sunday, cold Melbourne morning, if you are in Melbourne, and showing the commitment of being here in this session today. So, a big thank you and a big hug from my side. And I would like to say that we have really amazing leaders today in this forum who are going to speak to you and going to share their thoughts. Please feel free to make a conversation on the chat section of this forum and try to connect with all the leaders who are present in this session. We have two great speakers here today. We have Christina, who is our Pathways Coordinator there. She's waving over there. Hi, Christina. And we have Gamini, our second leader speaker, who is the Eastern Division Director. And without any further ado, I would like to welcome our first speaker, Christina, on floor to share her views today with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Can I share my screen, please? Okay, I can. All right. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Cool. Again, good afternoon, everyone. So this is Leading with a Dash of Chocolate. And I'm Christina. I'm currently the Pathways Coordinator. Are you a born leader? Raise your hands if you think you're a born leader. You see, just like Boss Baby, some people think that they're a born leader. I thought I was, but there is a difference between being bossy, like Boss Baby here, than being a leader. As my son and daughter tells each other when they're trying to boss around the other, you are not the boss of me. So bossing around is not the same as leading. Nuh-uh, they're totally different. So leading requires dedication, hard work, and commitment. And it takes a whole lot more. I'm not saying these are the only requirement for leading. There's a whole lot more that takes place when you're leading a team. Dedication, you have to give your effort, your time, hard work. You have to give up a few things, and that comes with also with commitment. If you're not ready to do any of this, then you're not cut to become a leader. But if you know what it takes to become a leader, and this is just a few of things that you're ready to become to being a leader. Now, for me, being a leader takes a dash of chocolate. So what do I mean with a dash of chocolate? Who I'm sure most of you drinks coffee. What is your favorite coffee?
So, Mocha.
Mocha, yeah. For me, that's cappuccino. If I order a coffee to the coffee shop and they forget to sprinkle the dash of chocolate, I'll return it. This is not cappuccino without a dash of chocolate. Or if you have a cake, some cake requires you to put a dash of chocolate. So what it does with a dash of chocolate, it makes the whole thing change a little bit. Not so much, but just a little bit. Just a little bit of fun, some thrill, change of taste. But it's not too much. So leading with a dash of chocolate. So my Toastmaster leadership role experience started in 2014. I joined Toastmaster in January 1, 2014. That's in my profile. I'm sure it started December 2013, but my club at that time, it registered at January 1, 2014. Since then, I've been in a different roles. So it started with the Vice President Public Relation. At that time, since I was just a new member, I didn't really do much. So I wasn't aware what's going on. I was just following the lead of the other club committee. And then in 2018, I became the club vice president of education, then the president, and then back to VPE, then currently club coach, pathways coordinator, and area director. So I've come a long way. Being from a shy Toastmaster trying to hide from those responsibilities, I've taken much more at the moment. In 2018, June 23, I attended club officers training because I was going to be the incoming club vice president of education. At the time, I was so excited. Why? Because I'm going to get my dash of chocolate. I was so thrilled because it's going to be exciting. I'm going to learn new stuff. Because at the time, I had really no idea what's going on as a club vice president of education. And in that training, I have learned easy speak. And I was thinking, why are we not using easy speak in our club? It's just so easy. And because my background is in technology, implementing something like that would be an easy fit. So I thought, okay, that's on my checklist. I'm going to implement Easy Speak as soon as my term start as a club vice president of education. And then there's another challenge, my dash of chocolate, the pathways. I know for a fact that our club is not into pathways. They know pathways, but there's no pathways champion. And I heard during my maternity leave, someone from the district visited our club and talked about pathways. But that's just about it. No one knows how the pathways program works, how to navigate Basecamp, and how do members complete each level, and how to work on project. So it's a big task. Ooh, game on, another challenge. So for me, that's my dash of chocolate. As you can imagine, I love challenges, and that's why dash of chocolate. So uh, as a new VPE in 2018, those are my dash of chocolate. It's a fun of learning new skills as a Toastmaster leader, and a challenge of moving the club to Easy Speak, the automated challenge meeting management, and helping the club members into pathways. And I'm happy to report that that year it was a success. Why? Because that year our club achieved the President Distinguished Club points that year. And that was the first time in a very long time that our club achieved that goal. And then what is my dash of chocolates as a pathways coordinator? Ah, this is an exciting one. Well, the team pathways was launched in 2018. And at that time, the coordinator is Carol McCulloch. And she asked everyone, this is in club officers training, she asked everyone who wants to be in my team. And because I was new in the leadership role, I was so eager, like me. And that was me. So I was the very first one who put my hands up to be the pathways in the pathways team. And because of that, I had a chance to work with one of the best in our district. And knowing that we are helping new Toastmasters in the district, it gives us a great sense of accomplishment. And can you believe it? We've been doing this for quite some time. And every single month that we're doing the Pathways educational event, I'm still learning new things. And that's a good thing about the Toastmasters community. Learning something new every single time. It's the same in my work. I thought life will be boring if you're not learning anything new. And it's kind of repetitive and tiring if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not sure if you're been in a situation and doing something that's just taking the same thing, doing the same step, and then do it all over again. But because you're learning a new stuff every single time, it becomes challenging. And I would like to note on working with one of the best in our district. How good is it that as a pathways coordinator this year, I was working with, I am currently working with Karl, with Michael Clancy, with Tracy Green, with Sue Patrick. Seriously, it's a great opportunity. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm the pathways coordinator and I'm leading these people. You see, that's the other thing that I've learned in this as a role of a pathways coordinator. You don't have to be the best to lead. You just have to be in that position, ready to take on the challenge and lead the best to achieve a certain goal. And I must say, so this is just my self-evaluation. I think the District 73 team pathways this year, we had a success. Based on the attendance, the educational events that we've delivered so far, and the feedback we get from our Toastmaster members, I think we had a success. I do have some challenges though. I still have self-doubt. I'm only human. And from time to time, I do try to do everything. And I also lack some time. And because I do have my family, I have my full-time job, and then running to do the club coaching, the district coordinator, pathways coordinator, area director, and the VPE, sometimes I feel like I don't have enough time. So I do have some challenges, and I'm still working on it. And I'm still learning self-acceptance, and that's a very important thing. From time to time, I do have that self-confidence, but still, sometimes you get to the point where self-acceptance is you have to remind yourself you are enough. You are enough to take on the challenges that you are facing at the moment. And delegation. I have to remind myself that we have a team, that I have a team of amazing people that ready to help. Just an example, I was overwhelmed with work commitment these past few days, and I received an email from Sue reminding me where's the agenda for the Pathways training event. And that prompted me. So I need help. And Sue asked in her email, do you need any help? That alone, that simple email gave me strength to actually get on with the agenda and send it to everyone. And the last thing that I still have to learn is learn to say no. Did you know that that's the most important word, the most important English word? The word no. Learn to say no. And that comes with self care. Your self care must be first in anything you do. And hence you will say, okay, do I have the time and energy to do this? So learn to say no. So find your dash of chocolate. The unknown, the challenge, the trials, the tribulation, it all comes in. If you're leading something or a group of people, find your dash of chocolate. Knowing that there's something challenges on top of what you're doing, it makes things a lot easier and actually a lot more fun. Thank you. Back to you, Namrita.
Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing that little dash of chocolate. I think so. That's a perfect um, way to explain how leadership works within Toastmasters. Absolutely challenging at every stage, but so much to learn at every stage, every meeting that we attend. Thank you so much for sharing that today. It was really, really nice of you. I would like to call upon our next speaker, our next leader speaker, and after that, we can open the forum for question and answer for both Christina and for Gamini. So, with that, let's welcome our second leader speaker, Gamini.
Thank you very much, Namrita. Firstly, inviting me to take part in the town hall. It's a great initiative, and I'm very pleased to be a speaker today. And today, my title is Are You That Rabbit? And probably you wonder why I picked this topic and whether I'm going to talk about that animal rabbit found in everywhere in the world, but it is not. And addressing to all fellow Toastmasters, we have been through unprecedented time over the last 12 months with the COVID-19 outbreak and associated economic lockdown. So we were so fortunate to have survived from this and to live these extraordinary times, living and working virtually from home. I think to a greater or lesser extent, our way of life has been significantly impacted. In this backdrop, I think we have as leaders a great challenge to reach out to potential leadership talents and to open the door of opportunities for their development. And my speech is basically focusing and to inspire everyone to take initiative to be the leaders in the next normal. I will introduce a couple of examples to my speech. And I take as an example a pace setter introduced to a formation of runners. You all know in long distance running, a pace setter is introduced to the formation. The goal of this pace setter is to take the pace of the run to a high level and to engage all the runners, to motivate them, to inspire them so that the pacemaker can maintain the momentum of the run to make all the runners' dreams achievable. So when it comes to the run, the pacemaker or pace setter ensures that by doing exactly the same, setting the pace of the run, engaging all the runners, motivating them, inspiring them, so that they keep they keep the momentum so that they can achieve their dreams. So before the pace setter drops off from the run, he runs with them to a certain extent, not the whole distance, and then he drops off after making all clinical changes to the mindset of the formation. So in the pavilion, then the pace setter from the pavilion ensures that the run is or the race is run at the pace he wanted, conserving the passion and enthusiasm of the runners, conserving their commitment to achieve a higher goal. When it comes to a pace setter is also a very experienced runner with training and experience to run a race at a record-breaking level. Pace setter is like a senior Toastmaster, if I put it in that context. And pace setter knows that the runners in that formation come from different backgrounds. Could be a geographical backgrounds. We could have a different physiques, different training, different experience. And most of all, they may have a different mindset, goals, and self-visualization. And this pace setter knows some runners in that formation are very fast in the first 25% of the race. He knows that some runners are very fast in the last pace of the race, last 25% of the race. And he knows some are very fast at the middle pace of the race, the middle 50. So he has a sort of task, basically to get them to sync and to maintain the momentum, to conserve the energy and to inspire them to run their race at the highest speed. So now I take you back to the top athletes. The top athletes have a self-visualization and they know how they are going to win their own race. We take Kathy Freeman. She knew exactly how she is going to win her race. But although they are top athletes, they still need the guidance from their pace setters, that is, their coaches, to boost their confidence and to inspire them before they get into the running track. I take, for example, some elite cricketers, Ricky Ponting, Chris Gale. They both know they have the visualization when they walk into the batting pitch, how to score the next century at the shortest time. But they do still need their coaches, the pace hitters, to boost their confidence and inspire them just before they walk into their batting pitch. And fellow Toastmasters, in Toastmasters Club, we run our own race at our own pace. And our pace setters are our mentors, our evaluators, and our senior Toastmasters. And our pace depends on our ambition, our goal, our dedication, and our commitment, as Christina has pointed out earlier. They all fits in, into Toastmasters. So our mentors, our senior Toastmasters help us or help all the Toastmasters to reset their mind, to find their dreams and to achieve their dreams, and also to set their goals and set their action plans, and to ensure that they are on track, and most importantly, to empower them and to inspire them to be the leaders. So without them, no Toastmaster can achieve their dreams and the self-visualization. So the formation of runners are more or less clinically equivalent to a club of Toastmasters. And then the clinical aspects, various variables that I talk about applicable to the formation of runners, like engagement, setting pace, motivation, inspiration, trying to keep them on track, all applies to the individual Toastmasters in a Toastmasters club. So this Toastmasters club needs good mentors and good evaluators, as well as good senior Toastmasters. It is the mentor's duty to work with the junior Toastmasters to set their path, to achieve their vision, and to empower them to be our next leaders. And in conclusion, in my speech, Pacesetter is a clinical example of a leader, a service leader, if I put it in the context, who help others to be their best. And in this speech, in concluding, I appeal all of you, all of the listeners of this video, to take initiative to be that leader, to guide your colleagues to a whole new horizon, to achieve their dreams. And I'm confident that all of you have the skills and experience that you have gained from your pace setters in the past. And I believe all of you can be that rabbit in the Toastmasters clubs, in the areas, in the divisions, as well as Division 73, District 73. And for myself, I had my pace setters or pacemakers when I joined my Toastmasters club in 2015. My journey has been now just over 5 years, and I have played different leadership roles, from the sergeant at arms to the club president to the area director and now to division director. And I have led a largest, I would say, school alumni organization in Australia, leading them to achieve that organizational dreams and delivering that program successfully. That I had that ability because my pace setters imparted their knowledge and experience to sharpen my skills and to achieve my vision and my self-visualization. So I conclude appealing all of you to be that rabbit in your Toastmasters journey to help others achieve their dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gamini. That was beautiful. I think so. Both the metaphors, a dash of chocolate and then setting the pacemaker. Such amazing metaphors that you have been able to connect with Toastmasters. And I'm sure that everyone present in this session today uh, absolutely could relate every bit of it to their Toastmasters journey. Thank you so much for sharing that, Gamini. And I think so we should give a big round of applause to Christina and to Gamini for coming up here today and sharing such insightful information with us.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you. And now I would like to hand over our session to Danielle.
Thank you so much, Namrita, and I'd like to echo that thanks to both Christina and Gamini. Now is your opportunity to ask our leaders some questions and probe in a bit more on their idea of a dash of chocolate and chasing rabbits. I think they were both inspired by Easter last weekend, because when else do you have chocolate rabbits? So you'll feel free to either direct message me and I'll ask the questions, or turn your camera on and ask away. While people are thinking of it, I have my first question, which I will open to both of you, which is, do you feel like you should set your own pace, or do you think you should be working with somebody, whether it's your mentor or whether it's your wife and deciding, or your husband or your partner or your daughter, and deciding how much to take on and when to push yourself and when to hold back? I'll open it to Gamini first and then Christina.
Thank you very much, Danielle. And as I use my metaphor that the pace setter knows that each runner has a different background, and pace setter knows that each runner sometimes faster in the initial stage, and then some are faster at the a later stage. And again, we know for sure that the fear of public speaking is much larger than fear of the death. Some people, they like to die rather than going and speaking in front of an audience. And in this situation, it depends, I think, person to person. And, but it has that element. And it is to understand that person, that who needs that support, and then work with him. And the mentor is not supposed to do everything that the Toastmaster should be doing. That mentor, it has to be very clear. Mentor is going to assist to define, that what would be his vision, what would be his dream, and to find his dream. And some people may have lost in dreams, so then he can help them to find what his real dream is and prioritize, and then to set smart goals. That is a process, two-way process. It could be with a mentor, it could be anyone that particular Toastmaster is comfortable with. It could be family, it could be a friend, and it could be a mentor, it could be somebody else at work, and it could be his boss. And so that way he can set the priorities, and he can get his that goals right, smart goals. And you know what the smart stands for. And then just having goals is not getting him there. So he got to have action plans, strategies, action plans, and then he got to implement. And also he got to be on track to achieve that. That on track mean it depends. Some people are tight with time, so that means that person will take longer duration. And some people have different interests, like take me, and I spend more time to help others, in the leadership arena, not, putting more to myself. And some people may prefer, okay, invest first to me and do, excel in myself, and then talk about serving others. So that way, it is, mix and match. But, It could be a friend, it could be a mentor, it could be the boss. And pace setting has to, fit with that particular person's situation and circumstances. I believe that I have responded adequately. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gamini. And I love that idea of the balancing between your own advancement and the advancement of those around you, and how you make sure that you're doing whatever works for you. Christina.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm the same. It's about the balance. So I can't really just do it wherever I want. It's just not my own pace. It's because I have a young family. I have to take into consideration their time as well when it all fits together. And because on top of that, I'm also working full time. So balance, it's a balancing act of those three aspects of my life. Actually, I'll include four aspects of my life. I'm into getting staying fit or getting active. So I have those four. I have to make sure that I put time and consideration when I'm doing something. Is it going, for example, today, Sunday, I was supposed to do running. Am I going to take some time in doing my running, which takes around 1 hour and takes a lot of effort? Or am I going to spend time with my family in the morning? Or am I going to prepare my speech for today? So it's a balancing act, and it depends as well on where are you at the time at that moment. So I'll give you an example. A few weeks ago, I have this huge project. So all my attention is just work. It's because it requires my attention at that time. So I block everything else. What does it mean? I wasn't checking anything that's not work related. So, so it depends where are you at the time, what's your commitment at that time, and what is important for you at that time. But what is important is you have that balancing act going on. It's not healthy that you only spend your time in one aspect of your life. As you know, life, being having a life is not just one aspect. You can't be just narrow-minded. You have to consider everything around you and what is important to you. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you, Christina. And I absolutely agree. This idea that life is not a rehearsal, you only get one chance. And so you have to find that balance to meet all your needs, but also the needs of those around you.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what keeps you continuing with your leadership journey within Toastmasters? Both of you have taken on many roles, and you've progressed from a club role to much higher in district roles that require greater attention and greater time. But what keeps you coming back? We'll go with Christina first this time, as she's still on unmute.
What? I must be crazy. To be honest, but kidding aside, what keeps me, for example, as a club vice president of education, I keep doing them, although I already know that it's a hard work. So why I keep doing them? It's because I know I'm helping others. That's my main goal. So that's why I keep doing it. As a pathways coordinator and other stuff, it's the same reason, because I'm giving back to Toastmasters community, because I've gained so much from Toastmaster, and that feeling of helping others gives me a sense of humanity. What are we if we're not helping others? To be honest, what are we? If we can help, if we can give back as much as we gain from it, that's why I keep doing it. Thank you, Danielle.
That's a beautiful answer. Thank you so much. And yes, it's amazing how much you get back and how fulfilled you feel when you can contribute to other people. Gamini.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think for me, I have been, I'm always time short. I have been a senior manager in a corporate environment, high pressure environment. But I think I stepped in voluntarily. I think I applied to be the division director. I stepped out of my own comfort zone from ranges, because I'm very well known to ranges, to my areas, and especially that particular area. That's where I am living. And so I initiated myself, just to thinking of, being a service leader. Plus, I try to find my balance, basically work and family and for leisure. And there's a separate thing to keep you physically fit, and then this, and attendance to Toastmasters, and to helping others in the division and probably outside the division. To idea is, it doesn't matter, geographic location doesn't matter. It is helping out to serve the community. And also, I think I'm actively participating in my university alumni activities as well, into universities, and as well as I mentioned to you earlier, I am a kind of a mentor to my the school alumni as well. It is largest with about 1,000 membership. And I think I find, the fine balance with all this. And also I'm feeling very happy to serve others, but, helping others, getting engaging, getting them inspired and getting them, motivated, also have a reflective impact on me as well. One is feeling satisfaction. And number two, I also get a kind of a 360-degree, kind of a review from these people. It is not written, but it's implied, and I can feel it, and I could then know next time when I speak to my team, next time when I engage them, how I can approach them, because everybody is busy and everybody has their different equilibriums, work, life, family equilibriums. So then I know, sometimes it's very sensitive. So I know how to communicate with them, how to get them engaged, how to harmonize and win, their efforts to be in a win-win position. I think I love to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gamini. One of the things I love in level 5 in pathways, in lots of the path, there's lead in any situation, lead in a volunteer organization. And it gives you the opportunity to actually ask people to do a 360 evaluation of you. And you can choose how many people you ask. You can choose people who are higher up than you in the hierarchy, and people that are working at the same level, and people that are working in all things. And you'll see yourself from so many different positions. Does anybody in our audience have any other questions? We have Karl's turning on.
Turning on. This isn't a question, but it's more as an evaluation. If I was doing this in the club, I'd like to just give a point to Christina. And that point is, props are very important when doing a speech because they add a lot of oomph to it. So I think when you do that chocolate one next time, I think you need a box of chocolates there that you can actually hand out to people in the audience. And I would just like to say, Christina, when you are going to do that, please email me so I'm in that audience.
Noted, Karl, noted.
Anyone who's worked with Karl knows that the way you get through things is to buy chocolate and to make sure there is chocolate on hand so that he doesn't fall asleep or get distracted.
Thank you. I would also like to say, though, in more a serious note, is that Christina and Gamini, they were great little speeches that you did. They're very heartfelt and had some great information. And I would come back and say that's why you're actually in a district leadership role, because of what you bring to it, and not just the work that you do, because as a leader, we have to do physical work. We have to get things done, but it's the mindset that you bring as well. It's the hands, it's the head, and it's also the heart, because we're here to help people in Toastmasters. So for anybody who's on the call and thinking about maybe moving into leadership, I would 100%, even if it's a small step at your club before getting to district, I would 100% encourage you to do that. But always think of that hands, heart, and mind. You need that mind of a leader. And as was mentioned earlier, we're not born. Most of us, if not nearly all of us, are not born into a leadership role. Environment, events, all sorts of things are formative in us stepping up to be a leader. So don't think you don't have it in you. It just may mean that you're on an earlier part of the journey and you have to take a not quite so high, if I can use a hierarchical, if I get the word out, model. Don't go so high, go lower small steps, and then you can start moving up that staircase. So great speeches, guys. I really enjoyed them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karl. Heath is now going to put a poll up about today's session. And while he's doing that, I'm going to ask Gamini and Christina to think of an answer to a question when we come back, just before we close, which is, we've got club elections coming up shortly, and we've got the Toastmasters year changes. What is one thing you can, key issue you can do to inspire people to take on a leadership role? What's the key thing that you think you can pass on to people? All right, we've got our poll. Thank you so much, everyone, for answering. And I'll start with Gamini this time. What do you think is the key thing that you can give to us so that we can inspire others to take on a leadership role?
Yeah, the key, I think, thing is that the Toastmasters, when we look at the Toastmasters mission, I think that's where the leaders are made. And we, I think, join Toastmasters to be better communicators, better listeners, and better leaders. And in the modern day, at the work, from the work point of view or from the society's point of view, to be successful, you need to be a good leader, a good communicator, and good listener. So you can get all these three attributes. You can enhance, you can acquire them and improve them to the next level by being a leader, as Karl mentioned, at the club level. It can be any level. It could be sergeant in arms who set the tone of the club. It could be vice president of education. Likewise, could be club president, and then taking little step by step, upward. It could be then a mentor, AD, that is area director, division director in that particular time horizon. But I think it's very important to emphasize that being in leadership roles, you learn how to communicate with people and how to lead them, how to engage them. And so that provide you a good way to be successful in the society and at work. Thank you.
Thank you, Gamini and Christine. We've got 1 minute left. So what key can you give us to take away that we can share with our members to encourage them to take on roles?
A key. It is a chance to practice and apply leadership skills and communication skills in a friendly and very, very supported environment. That's what I'm going to tell you. Very supportive environment. And if there's one thing if someone asks me why you keep doing this, it's because I have a very friendly and supported environment supporting me in this role. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you so much, Christina. And thank you everyone for joining in that question and answer session. I will hand back to Namrita.
Thank you so much, Danielle, and thank you so much, everyone. Before I jump on to concluding this session today, I just want to thank all the organizers of this town hall, the monthly town hall, and that is Danielle. Thank you so much for always being there. Heath, for always being here. Karl, for always supporting and being here. And we don't have others, but I would like to take their name. That's Neha and Vicky and Sue. And I hope I've not left out anyone. And all the speakers who always come up over here and take this session. And I know it's a Sunday, but you guys assure the commitment. So a big thank you for that. And I think so the message is very clear. Nothing grows in stagnant water. So I think so it's pretty clear that we have to take on that challenge. And I can see that how we all share that same passion within Toastmasters, taking on that challenge every single time. And I think so we should really look at the opportunities that are there within the district, and it's not far away. We are looking at a new term, the upcoming term starting in June. So these are the 2 months that you would probably want to check out all the leadership role, area director, division director, the trio role, and a lot others. So have a look at the district website. And Danielle, if you can, or Heath, can you just share the district website on the chat session for everyone? Other than that, there are a few announcements. There is an upcoming corporate club forum wherein our Toastmasters International, Richard Peck, is going to speak, and it's a forum for corporate clubs. So if you have any contacts or networks who are interested in coming up with a corporate club or are probably a corporate club themselves, then this forum is a good session for them to attend. I will be sharing the invite now in the chat session. We can keep the session open for 5 more minutes. And I don't know, just thank you for being here today. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and our next town hall is next month, the first Sunday of the month, of every month. That would be 2nd of May. Thank you.
And Namrita, can you just mention about the conference, please?
Do you want to do that, Karl?
Oh, nice backhand, Serena Williams. Nice backhand. Yes, just everybody, don't forget the district conference is coming up May 15th and 16th, Saturday and Sunday. It's going to cost you a big fat zero because it's online. Normally it'd be hundreds of dollars. It's all free from the comfort of your own home. It's all the district finals, the best of the best this year in our speech contests. And we've also got some great events happening with a workshop with an overseas speaker, an international speaker, and also our masked ball on the Saturday night. That's going to be a hoot. And that's where all the awards will be handed out as well. Please go to the district website. You'll see that under the events calendar section that there is the information on the website that Heath done. Heath, give us a big wave there. He's put a fabulous little information about, yes, thank you, Heath, about our conference, and you'll also find the registration details there. We are asking people to register for each separate event, and that way we can see how many people are going to be coming to each section. So please come along to that. It's celebrating change, it's celebrating the district, it's celebrating all your peers and the clubs, and it's celebrating you. So make sure you're there so we can celebrate you.